Hey everyone, I'm Klloo, and welcome to the datapack Runechant, A World to Discover. A massive survival datapack filled with magic and mysteries. Experience new seasons as you traverse different biomes, craft and cast powerful spells, enhance your weapons with new forms of brewing, or gain different abilities through trimming equipment, which has also been extended to weapons and tools. With 8 new advancement tabs to pursue, come experience a whole new world. The datapack is finally at a state release, so no better time to start playing and preparing for more endgame content to come. You can find the pack on Planet Minecraft or Moderate, or of course in the links down below. Right, so I have been busy trying to rework the season mechanic, and as you can see, I'm gonna extend it greatly, but it is taking some work, so I thought we'd do a feature that's quite beloved, right? Yeah. Armor trims. Now, as you can probably see, we've got a normal one for the left here, and then on the right, as well as on me, we have something a little bit special. So, we'll go over the basics first off before we get into the fancy trim stuff. With the pack, I have gone ahead and extended is probably the right word to use, right? The effects of trimming. So trimming now actually gives bonuses. So for instance, we have material bonuses, codex of attribute bonuses and set effects from different materials. So for instance, redstone. Trimmed equipment increases attack speed by 9%, and wearing a full set provides a bonus to haste. As you can see, being a haste proc, if I take it off, we'll lose the proc. But then if I put it back on, we'll get it perfect, right? So attack speed plus. So all the materials now give bonuses. You trim with amethyst, you get movement speed and health. Trim with emeralds, you get luck. And you might also notice there are quite a few extra materials, right? So I've gone ahead, added some more color schemes, some ender pearls, echo shards, what's another new one? Honeycomb, right? Flavorful things, and they all do flavorful effects. Then we get to the armor. Well, actually, no, that's a spoiler. We get to the weapons or tools. So you can trim weapons and tools. Now, do I have a template? No. What's a nice, easy one to show off straight away? I can't remember their effects off the top of my head. You know what? So why don't we do it this way? We'll look through. So if we go back to here, weapons and tools. So these are all of the effects given to a weapon when you trim it with that pattern. So for instance, if you have host, what will happen is you have a chance to inflict parasites on your opponent. So you have a chance to spawn silverfish, right? Because that's what I think of when I think of host. Come on. Let's, in your main NRFN grants chance. No, we don't want chance. We want an actual proper effect that I can show off nice and easy. A lot of them are chance, but we also have grants the ability to increase your movement speed while sprinting. All right, that's a nice easy one. So if we grab our wayfinder and we'll double down on it, right? We'll grab out some lapis and grab out just a netherite sword. We come over here, we can trim them. Nothing too fancy. I've just added sort of an edge. You know what? We'll have a look at them all, right? So we can grab out a pick, a shovel, an axe, and a hoe, right? And we can see what they look like. So just right there on the tip of the tool is what we're trimming, right? Just a slight thing. I've seen some pretty fancy stuff, so kudos to others making their packs, because you can obviously do whatever artwork you want, but we'll stick with a sword, right? So if we sprint, you can hear the little proc, and our speed is ramping, right? So we get faster and faster the longer we sprint, right? We go all the way to speed 3. So it starts off at speed 1, we continue sprinting, speed 2, sprint some more, speed 3, right? So as long as you're sprinting with Wayfinder and you're continuously sprinting, you're able to then ramp up your speed. So, you know, nice cool effect. Lapis in itself also gives us movement speed, and there are obviously effects for every single pattern. So whatever pattern you stick on any of your weapons or tools, you're going to get that effect. But it does go a little further, right? Because it does say weapons or tools, but what else could that include? Now, I wish I could do tridents. Tridents are a pain in the ass. You do get the, oh, I don't have a pattern. We'll do sentry. That's another easy one to show off, right? So you do get the effects on trident. You can trim a trident, but it doesn't have any flavorful look, right? And that's because I could trim the tool, right? The icon in the inventory, but I don't think that's a good showing. If I could actually change the model, I would, but you have to get into some Optifine shenanigans or remaking it from scratch, which is not an easy feat for the trident. The shield, however, it is. So if you trim a shield, it becomes a buckler, right? So it still works as a shield. You can still block with it. Still gets raised up, but it's got a fancy new design, right? I like it. You don't have the little handguard though. It is just a flat board. I'm not that great with modeling, but yeah, I think that's quite nice, right? And with Sentry, we teleport. It's not proccing because there's nothing nearby, but you can hear all the sound effects and everything that I've added for the different items. It's also time, set, day, right? And then along with that, you can also trim bows, crossbows, and a sneaky little fishing rod as well. I really got to make a stack of the templates. We'll do ward, right? There we go. Now, they are all singular models. I will say that though, right? So I'm using a nice easy out to trim, which is this just assigns a custom model, and then that custom model is shared. So for instance, lapis is the only thing that's actually being counted. The pattern, while adding an effect, doesn't actually dictate the image. There are ways to do it. Way too complex for me. So hats off to, again, people who make those types of packs. Not my foray. But yeah, we have a fishing rod, which then turns into a nice little pokey hook weapon, right? You still have the hook, you can still fish, but I just thought that was a neat design so you can actually use it. It does get taken a step further if we look through the advancements, because we also have this tinkering templates. But I don't know if we'll do that in this video. I think what we'll jump to is some of the unique trims. So down here we have working with leather, which allows us to create different trim patterns, like mushroom leather, cow leather, donkey leather, and they all have their own effects. You can read all about them in the advancements. Then we also have the ultimate turtling, which is some turtle armor trims. Aside from that, as shown in the intro, we also have full plating and half plating. So what you can actually do is you can take any piece of trimmed equipment and you can grab out a netherite smithing upgrade template. God, I hate their name. It's so long, right? Smithing template, but I always read the tooltip down the bottom. So netherite upgrade smithing template. It's just convoluted, right? So we can take these two to our furnace, our deep slate furnace, throw them both in, do it once, and you get yourself a half-plated piece of armor, which basically strips away any effect. So it doesn't have any more pattern bonuses, but now instead of giving, I think it was 9% attack speed, right? It now gives a little bit more, right? And also looks a bit different. We're extending the redstones, getting and taking over the helm more and more. If we do it again, we can fully plate it. So now it is a netherite helmet that is fully plated in redstone, and therefore obviously has a complete redstone tint, which is definitely my favorite looking armor. Although I haven't gone through all the colors to actually see how they've turned out, but I do like this little crimson set of armor. So basically, again, you give up any sense of effect. So for instance, what we were using, ward, right? So we look at the ward armor effect, because they are different from the tools. That's another thing to probably mention. So ward is when wearing a full set of armor trimmed with this, gain the ability to convert experience orbs into absorption. So any experience orbs on the ground get eaten by the armor and you gain absorption from that. So you lose that effect, but now you have the plating effect, which I am curious where I've stuck it. I think I stuck it here, right? So instead you get a increase to the material's attributes, right? And then as step 2, if you're full plating trimmed armor. So that's one of the many facets to tinkering. Now, again, we have this other one that's going to be a little annoying to get. So we have to get ourselves some leather. I guess we'll do the sniffer because I haven't done it. So the other complex thing to get across and think about is these require full sets of armor, and it says that. So when wearing a full set of armor. Leather trim, however, is having this equipped will enable the player to dig up random things. Having multiple pieces equipped will strengthen the effect. I don't know why it says with. There's going to be typos. I always miss typos. So basically, there are, again, multiple facets of the way they actually work. You have normal trims, have a full set, gain effect. Leather trims, have any pieces, gain effect, mix and match, do whatever you want with them, because they're all leather trims, that was the idea. And then you have the plate, which is, again, you can mix and match them, you can mix and match the materials, and you gain effect from that. Then also, right, having a full set of the same material. So for instance, having full redstone again gives us haste. If we swapped out one of those pieces to something else, it wouldn't give us haste anymore. We'd still get the attribute bonuses as listed, so attack speed plus plus plus, what is this, movement speed plus plus plus, but we wouldn't gain the bonus. So there are lots of ways for you to mix and match and try and get the best possible bonus, right? There might be other ways to gain haste, speed, all these other stats that you don't necessarily want. So now you can use the armor to, again, mix and match and try and min-max, right? Turn this into a pretty interesting RPG. And the best way, we're getting way off topic, best way to probably go about that is this. I spy a little insight. Combine an etched diamond with a spyglass. Etched diamonds come from etching diamonds. Use an anvil to imprint a word onto a diamond, then toss it into the crucible. You can use armor, range, shield, or weapon in the brackets there, and then you get these different etched diamonds, right? So we might as well do that. So a diamond, a world fragment, and a name. We'll grab out our enchantment fragments. We'll grab out our diamond, and nice and simple, if it goes into my inventory. Do I have an anvil? I always delete blocks every single time. Right, we'll just name it weapon. Like so. Over to our crucible. Toss them in. We get enchanted, and we now have an etched diamond with a nice little sword icon. We can then take that step further, get out the spyglass, and throw them both in. I do want copies for later. And we get ourselves an enchanted spyglass, which now, if we right click, right, ta-da, armor total, 66%. I've used the maxes from the wiki, right, because there is a cap to certain stats. So we're at 66% of the armor cap. We're at 60% of the toughness cap. We're at 40% knockback resistance. We have no damage because we have no weapon. If I were to equip the shovel, for instance, right? Oh, did I not make it work in the offhand? That is something I will have to add. Yeah. You can also use it to look at another player. That I did add, right? So if you're on a server, whoever you're looking at, it will tell you their stats instead of yours. If there's no one, they'll tell you your stats, right? But it'll tell you your damage, it'll tell you your attack speed, which currently is really amped, and your movement speed, as well as your luck. Because again, luck is a huge thing in this data pack. So there's lots of ways. If you tinker with armor, take the normal basic concept that Mojang's come up with and give it a bit more functionality, and then some flavorful stuff of my own creation. And that's just, in all honesty, the tip of the iceberg. Because again, we'll probably make this a two-parter, right? So we'll get into tinkering, we'll get into the training dummy, we'll get into some of the more powerful effects. But just to summarize it as best as I can, materials give you bonus attributes and have a full set effect if you have matching pieces. You then have weapon trims, which grant a unique ability to the item. Some are on chance effects, so you need luck to boost that chance. Or some of them have effects on sprinting or shifting. So for instance, Sentinel here, which is the sentry trimming, gives you the ability to teleport to the nearest entity by shifting. Now, there is a range on that, hence why when we used it before, we can teleport. And then with armor, armor has to be a full set, and then you gain a pretty powerful effect. You can then also take it a step further, and you can improve the trimmings. You can either take it to a furnace, like before, and increase the plating to increase the attributes, or you can find yourself some custom leather, which is a unique drop from their corresponding mob, and then trim it in that leather fashion to gain different bonuses, right? Lots to explore, lots of fun to be had, but I think we'll leave it there for today, and then we'll tackle the tinkering stuff and probably some of the more unique stuff in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.